I'll give you a hint. I'm in my car. I'm on the freeway. I was gonna just not do this video. Problem is, I'm stuck in traffic. I was gonna get off on one exit and then just do the video, but and then I was like, maybe I should just cancel this video altogether. But now, honestly, now that I think about it, the next exit that I can pull off of, I will pull off, and then we'll just do a quick there. So as it stands, I really can't see any of your messages as I am driving. I can't take any of your questions as I'm driving, but we're almost there. If you bear with me for a couple minutes, I'll get off the freeway, park in a safe spot, and we'll go from there. But let's see, maybe I can just talk about something. So I did, look at some of the feedback from you guys. And a lot of you folks were like, hey man, we're cool if you just, talking about anything really in life. Don't even talk about like security. If you don't have the content, you don't have the content. The reality is, I mean, I don't have that much more content left. If you look at my stats, I have hundreds of videos, and I'm not the only one that has hundreds of videos. There's other channels as well, named them quite a few times. It's just a matter of typing in security guard and you'll find a ton of them, and a ton of videos on YouTube. Oh dude, this is gonna be a little bit longer. I'm actually not getting off on this exit, I'm getting off on another one. So yeah, having said that, maybe I'll just talk about random things, throw in some security, some things that's going on in my life, some things that interest me, fascinate me, you name it, right? Seems like you guys were cool with that, so we'll go with that. So I've got like a few minutes to talk before we get this exit and I can formally pull over, so I'm gonna talk. This is random, again, randomness here, nothing security related, but I got a plant at home, right? This little plant, I paid like $10 for it, and it's a little bit of an exotic plant, really hard to grow from what I understand because it's so fragile, but I liked how fragile it was. The leaves are super thin, and the little branches on it are thinner than, I'd say about as thick as a human hair. I don't even know the name of the plant, but I failed. I tried to like have it grow, and it didn't grow. It grew a little bit, and then it dried up really quick. Turns out this thing is really sensitive to humidity. So I tried again, and it seemed like it was growing pretty good. And because of the lack of humidity, or just one day not having enough water for it or being humid enough, the thing just dried up. And it actually got to the point where I'm like, dude, this thing is dead. So I just put it in the backyard and let nature take its course. At some point, my chickens got to it. They started pecking at this plant on the ground, which was nothing at this point. It was just a little plastic shell, a little ball of dirt, and some branches, completely dried up. And I just left it for what it is. It's dead. So I got a faucet outside that drips. Not really bad, but it drips once in a while. And I took that little container with dried up twigs in it. That's all it looked like at this point. And I put it under that little dripping faucet, thinking by some strange chance it might come back to life. And I just forgot about it. 2 weeks later, I get back to it, nothing. It is completely bone dry. And I'm like, well, I tried. I really did try. And that was that. 3 weeks later, getting ready to throw the thing in the trash, and I could have swore I saw like a little bud coming out of one of the stems. Not exactly a leaf, but just like a little bud. And I'm like, is this thing coming back to life? Or, and I honestly, I really didn't know. And I just said, you know what? Let's just hold off throwing it in the trash for a minute. Around the same time, I got this thing where it's like a light kit where you can put plants under and grow plants. And it's one of these little Amazon things. They look like shelves, and you could stack them, and they have built-in lights, and these lights are meant for plants. It's like the right spectrum, the right wattage. You put plants under there and they grow, and you just add water, so that way you can grow plants indoors, right? So this little thing had one little bud, and I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, I'll put it under that light and we'll see what happened. Fast forward like 2 months later, dude, that thing is grown so big. So yes, it did survive. It's gotten so big that I don't even know where to put it now. And that's just in 2 months. But it's really crazy how this thing has adapted and adjusted. Right? All right, I'm formally parked. And, you know, I'm always telling you guys to adapt and adjust in life. This plant is the master at adapting and adjusting. And there's one really cool thing about it that I noticed. It's starting to branch out, right? All these little, like, really thin branches. But it's not strong enough to hold up its own weight because these branches are so thin. It tries to go upward, but it can't. It just sags. So what it's done is, somehow it has managed to find a plant next to itself. It grabbed onto this plant's, like, vines. It grabbed onto the vine and it started twisting itself up that plant's vine. And then another one of its own vines grabbed onto itself and started twisting. And it kept doing that. Now it's like 6 braids thick. Then I'm like, at some point, I'm like, I got to pull it off because I don't want it pulling on that other plant. Well, at some point at night, it actually let go of that vine and started seeking out another place to grow. And what's so cool is it actually twisted itself in such a bundle. It became so strong that now it's able to, like, seek further. And the other branch is doing the same thing now. It's literally grabbed onto the vine. It's twisting itself on there. Other vines are grabbing onto it so it can get thicker. It lets go and it starts to, like, seek further places to, like, grab onto stuff. So, you know, it's just a matter of adapting and adjusting, and I just think that's pretty phenomenal. Yeah, I'll keep you updated on that. I've been watching its behavior. There's just so many things it does that it's just so odd. All right, so now that I'm pulled over, let's see if we got any messages here. Good evening, Defcon, says Mr. Twins. Hey, Mr. Twins, good to see you're a regular here, man. Cody says, Cody Pendant. Oh, I know you, bro. What's up? Sup, legend? What's up, Cody? Hey, man, you are the reason why the whole thing started. Good to have you here. John Smith, sup? Anthony, message retracted. Anthony again, message retracted. A lot of message retracted. What are you doing, Anthony? How are you getting your messages retracted? 4 of them. Samuel, are you going from exotic bugs to exotic plants? Bro, I was hoping nobody would notice that connection. To answer your question, maybe. Man, wherever there's money to be made, Defcon will definitely try to make it. If I can make money selling exotic bugs and exotic plants, I will do it. At the end of the day, it's about that financial independence and being, what's that word? Economically... Shoot, I had that word and I forgot it. Darn it. But basically being just dependent on yourself versus working for somebody else. All right. Sloppy Joe versus Plant Rock. Okay, I finally got one of your messages, Anthony. That makes no sense. Sloppy Joe versus Plant Rock. Bloody Wolf says, sup? All right. Sup, man? Anthony, money comes and goes, planes grow up. Okay, dude. You smoking some plant right now, Anthony? That makes no sense, man. Come on. All right. So, So yeah, there you go. I also like under these little lights, and just so you know, they're on Amazon. They're like 25 bucks. It's like, it looks like a bookshelf. It's square, and it's called damn, it's got a weird name for that unit as well. Something think, as in thinking. I don't know. If you guys are really interested, I'll put it in the description. But anyways, you could stack them on top of each other and have multiple levels, and you put plants in there, and that's that. But I got Venus flytraps in there. I went to Walmart. I found some dying Venus flytraps, and those things have always fascinated me. Any kind of carnivorous plant fascinates me, just because they're smart, dude. It's just so crazy how plants have this mentality where they can like problem solve and think. And I'm like, if plants can think, then people should be able to as well, right? So my Venus flytrap more recently has shot out the stem, like super long stem, and it's growing flowers on it, which is pretty cool. And so what I did was it got so high, this like little thing growing from it, that I had to take it from out of the light because it was hitting the light bulb itself, and it's starting to bend toward the light now. And I'm like, that's just so awesome. But then it noticed that the light was hot, so then it started to do this like weird loop thing where it's like, okay, let me get some distance. Yeah, next time I'm at home, I'll show you guys what the setup looked like. It's pretty awesome. All right, John Smith, how was the interview? You got the job schedule? Bro, I don't even know what to say. I actually got angry today. Like, you know, like if you could put it on a level out of a 10, I got to an 8. So I messaged this guy about the job. Like, where's my schedule? Where's my... And I can tell when he reads my messages. And he read my message within 1 minute of sending it to him and no response. And I'm like, I'm supposed to work today, right? I interviewed well. It's for a job that's unarmed, very entry level. Like, I am way overqualified for this job, but I'm humble. I'll do it. It meets exactly some of the requirements that I want. I want it to be indoors. I want to be sitting post, you know, and I don't want to be like supervising anybody at this point. I just want to work, punch in, punch out. I'm almost to my next big thing in life. Seemed like it'd work out great. So I went to the interview. The interview went well. I got some onboarding materials. They said, hey man, you're hired. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. There was more than 100 signatures that I had to do, you know, applying. It says, so read this page. Do you agree? Yes. Read this page. Do you agree? Yes. And I did just skim over every page. And it was lengthy, man. I'm like, okay. Oh, I know what they're asking. Sexual harassment. Okay, cool. Got it. Sign that. You required certain breaks. Got it. Sign that. Started talking about, you know, you have to return a uniform if you quit. Got it. You're not going to talk about any intellectual property or anything. Sign. Dude, 50-something signatures. It was one of the longest ever applications I've ever filled out. And to go through all that and then message the guy and say, hey man, I filled out the application, we're good to go, when do I start? To hear nothing, and to do another follow-up this morning and to see that the message was read and there's nothing. It actually pissed me off. I almost just called him up and said, look man, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to take the job. And in the meantime, just go blow yourself. That's how I felt. Like, dude, you just wasted my time. And what gets me even more pissed is the fact that I'm definitely qualified for the job. And I'm not like tooting my own horn here, but every company I've ever worked for, I've gotten employee of the month, employee of the year. I mean, you name it, right? Because I work hard, I'm loyal, and then for somebody to just kind of like, dude, you know what? You could just go find yourself another guard that's going to be untimely, put this company in jeopardy because they don't show up to the post. Go for it, dude. Knock yourself out. So I'm almost at that point where I'm like, I'll give it one more day. If they don't respond, then that's it. If he's watching his channel, then bro, You know, that's not a way to run a company. If this is how you're going to run a company, well, you're going to get ran over in this industry. If not by somebody else, by me when DEFCON gets there, right? All right. Let's see here. Leonardo, how does the job interview go, Mike? Hey, I guess you just heard the spiel. Anthony Sullivan, The Wolf of Wall Street, sell me that planet. Focus on number one, enjoy. Tell the guy you're the news boss. Interview them. Yep. Okay, I'm starting to like you again, Anthony. That's why you hire a lawyer or attorney. Yeah, it's not even worth it, man. If someone put on down, smile, and walk away priceless. Put you down, smile, and walk away priceless. You know, a minute ago I didn't like you, bro, but now I actually like you. Yeah, you're right. There was points in that interview where, not just that interview, but other interviews, when I'm being interviewed, the problem is I see the 3D chess we're playing here, the 4D chess where all that psychology is being used. They'll ask you a question to try to set you up, and I'm like, dude, I know exactly what you're doing, and I'm not gonna fall for it, you know. Questions like, so would you consider yourself like, you know, a type of person likes to paint at home, or do you like to watch basketball games with friends? So when they ask you a question like that in an interview, basically they're trying to see if you're a loner or if you like to hang out with people and you're a team player, right? So, you know, you try to play dumb and you're like, well, you know, as much as I like painting because yeah, it's feeds the soul, I definitely love hanging out with people. I'm a people person, blah, blah, blah. So you throw them a little curveball like that. But the reality is I know what they're getting at. All right, Samuel, do you think it might be because you're going for unarmed? I feel like unarmed guards aren't respected nearly as much as armed. Samuel, 100%, dude. When I was armed, I had people begging me to work for them. I do think that with unarmed, it's a dime a dozen. To be a security guard, dude, it is one of the most unsophisticated jobs ever. But then again, it is. You know, that's the craziness. It's super important. Your life is at stake, other people's lives, property, you name it. But to get the job is just so basic. You take a class to get a guard card, which could be anywhere from 1 hour to 6 hours long. And when I say 1 hour, we know that's not legal, but I've seen classes where they just like, all right, well, you've done this before, and they give you a card and you're a guard. And then within a year, you have to like take another class or two. But really, it's such a blue collar job, and so many people can work in that industry. You don't need a high school diploma. You don't need, really, you just gotta be able to put a uniform on and sit on your butt all day. Now, armed is a little different, right? You have to qualify with a firearm. You have to be responsible enough to go through certain tests and the psych exam, at least in California. You have to demonstrate that you are responsible. You have to pass a pretty deep federal background check. And not everybody can do all this. And not everybody has the patience to do it, nor the money. You have to go out there and buy a gun, right? A cheap, decent gun will cost you $700, handgun. And then you've got to buy ammunition to practice that, using that firearm, to become intimate with it and know how to use it. Then you got to take the tests, and the test is going to cost you money, and the classes and a background. So yeah, to answer your question, man, I'm pretty sure if I was armed, it wouldn't be this difficult. But like I said, I have other avenues of income coming in, so I'm not sweating it as much as some people might. But it's still a little bit aggravating. It's frustrating. And later on, I'll let you guys know what else is going on in my life, little by little. But I am working toward my goals. It's all about that plant, right? Adapting and adjusting. And that's what I'm doing, man. I'm adapting and adjusting. And I know everybody that's on here tonight is in different walks of their journey, and we all have our setbacks and our problems, some worse than others, but ultimately you just keep moving forward, man. All right, Samuel, sounds like the psychological test to get armed. Yep. John Smith, you got this, bro. Thank you, man. I do appreciate that. Samuel, yes, 8-hour course, and he's laughing. True, bro. I have never seen a guard card take you 8 hours to get. Again, I know the law requires that, but I have never seen it go 8 hours. And I'm glad, because the reality is you should not have to sit there for 8 hours learning how to watch a gate. And in security, they should not have to teach you how to deal with people. If you don't know how to deal with people just naturally, it's not the job for you. Or maybe work at a construction site in security where you don't have to see people. But, you know, if you don't know how to de-escalate a situation, it probably isn't the right job for you. Anthony, the smart guy gets a job and lights up the room. Test yourself. The ego has landed. Well said. Thank you, sir. So I'm parked at a gas station right now, and yeah, I'm guilty of this. I'll show you guys this. I'm gonna get some flack for this, but I'm also gonna get some people laughing and like me. But I am guilty of these stickers, right? So if you see it on gas pumps, you know Defcon's been there, or somebody else that is like-minded. So there you go, guys. I'm gonna do this for like 10 more minutes. You know, I got some other obligations tonight. I almost wanted to cancel this video, but I just feel bad because I know that some of you guys are driving home and you want something to listen to, and you know, same with me. I follow people on YouTube, and when they cancel out, I'm like, come on, man. You were like my daily 30-minute show, or my little podcast to listen to on my way home. Some of you guys, I'm probably actually informative. I actually answer a lot of your questions. But I feel like by this point, you guys already know everything you need to know about security. And, you know, I almost thought I wouldn't talk about security today, but here we are. We're looping right back around to it. Oh, let's see what we got here. My girlfriend has 2 jobs. Easy money. A lot of your messages get retracted, Anthony. I don't know by who. Is it like YouTube or other people on here? But you're more clever than I thought you were, so props to you, man. Glad you're part of the channel. Samuel, when I work with my guards and they're scared to tell people off, it's confusing to me. It's like, why would you be a guard? Exactly. You know, and the thing is, man, you don't have to really tell people off, but I had an old high school teacher that was a mentor of mine, and he would always say, be one level above everybody. So if they're whispering, you talk, right? If they're talking, you talk louder. If they're yelling, you scream. Always be one level above them. And be tactful about it, right? Don't be trying to put yourself in their face and start a fight and everything, but just let them know that you are in control. And sometimes not sometimes, quite often, you are in control just by talking. You know, I was going to start a website years ago. Man, this is a long story. I'll keep it short. But basically, I'm a firm believer that listening is the best talking. And I was going to start a website called listeningisthebesttalking.com. And my job was to counsel people in different stages of life, whether you're having relationship issues or financial or you name it. Just let people talk to me and vent, and I'd be there for them. And then I've recognized that listening is better than talking. You know, I'm a talker. Whenever I talk to my best friend, honestly, man, 95% of the conversation I'm talking and he's listening. And I don't know why, because he can talk. He's a great instructor. He talks as well. But for some reason, he lets me do all the talking. But having said that, by him letting me talk, it allows me to vent. And I think what it really has to do with is the fact that I'm more unstable than he is. And not in a bad way, but like I've always got something going on. Like, damn, today this happened, or damn, my car this or that, or hey, I got rear-ended today. I always have some sort of story or something to vent about. And his day is just pretty consistent. You know, he rode his bike to work because, It has, you know, exercising health attributes to it. He worked in his garden. He's found that little secret that we're all looking for. Well, we just found that nice medium where we can just chill. We can watch just the right amount of news to not drive ourselves crazy, but then be informed. You know, he's at that place. So yeah, we'll talk about that another time. I'm always there to listen to you guys. So if you want to talk, you got my email. Anthony, he means to say it how it starts on number one, and when you're at your start line. Hey, John Smith. Hey, man, that's part of life, bro. Sometimes have to win some, and sometimes have to lose some to do in order to find ourselves. Very true, man. 24 hours in a day, overthinking the gym helps. Yeah, and I've had a gym membership for 6, 7 months now. How many times have I gone to the gym in 6 or 7 months? Almost want to say zero, man. Not even to take a shower at the gym. I used to be that person who went to the gym every day, and then when I didn't want to go, I would make a promise. Okay, if you truly don't feel like going to the gym today, at least go there just to stretch. And that's it. Go to the stretch and take a shower. And if you don't feel like a shower, just stretch. Every single time I've gone there just to stretch, it ended up being a workout. I stretch, and the next thing you know, I'm like, okay, well, let me just work my arms. And it turned out into a workout. But the last 7 months, ever since I got that Wu flu, it beat my lungs up so bad. I'm still recovering. I may look recovered, but I still have my moments. I get winded pretty quickly. I'm at the equivalent of a person that's out of shape. So can I go river rafting and run and rock climb? Yeah, I'm still down for all that. But I don't have that stamina that I used to. Like, that would make me like a notch above my opponents. Now I'm equal to them. And as I'm getting older, I'm starting to find that I better do something about it before I get stuck in this shape that I'm in. All right. Do you still ask people what their next big thing in life is? I asked somebody yesterday. I don't know if he watches this channel. Who knows? But I used to be president of a community college. And one of our council members, I saw him yesterday. And really cool dude. Man, I've got stories about him too. Just a cool person. I give you a side story. Damn it, I'm always talking about sides. I've got so many stories. So this guy, I was president of college, and then I was also president of the Christian club at our college. It was a club that was falling apart. It was down to like 6 members. They were getting ready to just shut it down. And I went to peek in one day to see what that was all about. Then I started talking and preaching and doing my thing. And a couple weeks later, they're like, hey, man, why don't you vie to be the president of the club? And I did, became president of the Christian club. Man, I had so many people like saying, oh, that's a conflict of interest. You can't be the president of a Christian club and the college at the same time. And I said, yeah, you're right. I think it is a conflict of interest. So having said that, if you're a member of the photography club or the queer club or the debate club, you can't be part of any sort of leadership at the college. And nobody was cool with that. And they were like, nah, it's just a Christian club. And then I started saying, oh, so this is a religious thing then. If that's the case, man, I'm going to sue the life out of this college and rename it after myself. And they backed down. But then they got into a little meeting and convened, and like a little private meeting, whether they should try to like impeach me or not. And that one person, he was kind of like, we didn't see eye to eye on anything, but he was the one person that stuck up for me and said, you know, I do think Mike has the right to be a president of a Christian club, and he shows good leadership, blah, blah, blah. And he stuck up for me. And I found out through the grapevine that he did that. And I really did appreciate that. Fast forward years later, I saw the guy yesterday, and he seems pretty happy, man. He was going through some health issues in life, and he seemed to look a lot better, feel better. And he was working at one of those. So yesterday I was with my family, and we went to go buy board games, right? because we like to do that. And went to the shop where he worked at. It was one of those shops where you see a bunch of guys sitting around the table playing Magic the Gathering, things like that, right? And I saw him, and I did ask him, like, so, he said, oh, I didn't finish some of my classes. I was 2 semesters shy of finishing or something like that, right? And I'm like, so what's your next big thing in life, man? And he goes, this right here, what I'm doing right now, this is my big thing. I really enjoy this. And it kind of took me back. I'm thinking, how the hell can you enjoy this? It's not making you 100,000 a year, at least I don't think. And then I had to take myself back and say, dude, not everybody wants to make money. Like I always say, whatever you would do for free every single day of your life, that's what you do for a living. Assuming your bills are paid and money's not an issue, that is what you do for a living. Whatever makes you happy. And this guy figured out the formula, and that's what makes him happy. And I'm like, crap. Well, good for him, dude. Awesome. So yeah, I did ask somebody yesterday what their next big thing in life is. A lot of times I ask people that and they don't have an answer. And I would hope that you at least have, all you guys out there would at least have something planned, right? Doesn't have to be like a 6-month plan or a 1-year plan. It could be a 10-year plan. What do you see yourself in 10 years? All right. Anthony says, get back to what helps. Workout helps. Thinking wrong this time. Yeah, money comes and goes, but family and real friends are priceless. Absolutely. Tell them, believe you're doing it. Bloody Wolf, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and you should listen twice as much as you talk. Absolutely. Samuel, laugh out loud. Defcon University, right? School of Hard Knocks, Samuel. Anthony Sullivan, you can never please everyone. This is true. Teamwork. Smart chick hits the way forward, and she's more fun. Okay. Anthony, I gotta be honest. Some of your stuff I don't understand. I almost have to decipher it. I know in these live videos, if I were to play them back later at home, for some reason I can't seem to see the chat, which is kind of disappointing because I do want to read everybody's chat at some point and acknowledge it, or just mentally, interpret what they're trying to say. And like I can watch the videos, but for some reason I cannot see the chat logs. Maybe it's something I can do on my computer and my phone just limits me, but I don't know. I would like to see everything everybody writes. There's times where I don't. Notepad and pen on the way. All right. Well, guys, look, man. I know it seems short, but it's been 33 minutes, and I really got to get on with my day. It's 4:30 here. I got some obligations at 5 o'clock. So if you guys have any burning questions or something's on your mind or on your heart and you just want to message me, you got my email address. If it's not on this video description, it would be on the one before that. Just keep pushing, man. Keep pushing. The journey is long, as I always say. As long as you're making baby steps, those count toward getting to your final destination. I'll answer or look at these next few questions and then we'll just sign off here. Samuel, yeah, I think it's because it turns it into a real YouTube video, so it makes a new comment section. Got it. Darn it. I'll look into that, Samuel, though. Joey T, you have to pull your cell phone on panoramic view to see full screen and chats. But doesn't that mess things up, Joey? Like if I put it on, let's try it out. Let's put it on panoramic view. Rotate device. So I just rotated it. I don't know. All right, I'll tell you what, man. When I've got some downtime, which won't be long from now, I'll literally watch like a tutorial on how to do this. Since I seem like I'm going to do this more often, I should try to figure out the right way to do it. I do know that every time I touch the screen, I can see your questions and comments. I didn't even know how to do that before, so let's... All right. But yeah, thanks for the tip, Joey. I'll definitely look at it. Look it up when I get home a little later. Anthony, Jay-Z, 99 problems, but focus on number 1. That's right. Brad Grady, man, I look up to you so much. I appreciate you. Hey, I appreciate that. Like, I really am. So like, to say you're humble, how are you humble when you're saying you're humble, right? A humble person shouldn't have the right to say that they are humble. But I really am. And whenever somebody says, oh, you motivate me, or you inspired me, or I look up to you, it actually, I'm like, I don't even know the emotion to say. I'm like, come on, dude. No, I'm glad you feel that way, but that's not me. But I do appreciate it. It never gets old. Um, it never gets old. When I used to teach emergency response, people would always come up to us and say, hey, to me and my best friend, and say, man, that's one of the best classes I ever taken. Thank you, thank you. And that would get old. The reason why is because I knew what the competition taught. And I'm more or less was agreeing, like, yeah, I know we're a good class. I've seen the other classes. But when you guys say I inspire you or anything like that, I'm like, oh, come on. I'm sure you get your inspiration from somebody else other than some dude calling himself Defcon 3. I would hope so. But I'm glad that I do have somewhat of an impact on you. And like I said, I'm definitely here for you folks. You need to talk. All right, Joey, I think you have to put it where you start live stream. Yep. So Joey, right when you start, it gives you that option. Have it in panoramic view or rotated landscape view. I'm just afraid that in landscape view, it's going to be those two black bars, and then I'm going to look this tiny. So I'm going to work with it. I'll do like some test runs and see how it looks. I just want you guys to be able to like visually have an image there that's not too tiny or too big. Or all right, Anthony, it costs nothing to be nice to some people. Are not there yet. You know what? And I'm going to leave it at that. You're right. You currently have 2 black bars. Okay. Well, there you go. Security guard channel. You have 2 black bars. Okay. Samuel, Defcon, you do more than you think through these videos. I started security a year ago because your videos got me interested. Thanks for the vids. Thank you, sir. Joey, yes, you're on 2 black bars on the sides. Okay. So then I should rotate it in the future, and then you guys will have like a bigger image. I'll try that next time, and maybe that way I'll be able to see the comments on the right, and I won't have to touch the screen to see the comments. Good to know. All right, guys, so thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it, having you guys be part of this family here. Other than that, you know the spew. Know your worth, know your value. Please value your time, but above all, be safe.